With so many different types of people watching Survivor, we are bound to have different opinions from others. I know, what a shocker. Opinions that would get us stoned if we lived in a fantasy land where a quote unquote wrong opinion about Survivor has that kind of power. Today, I will be sharing some of mine and some of the ones you all posted on my community tab here on YouTube when I asked for them. By the way, be sure to subscribe because I do posts like those quite often. All right, prepare your biggest stones to throw. Number 1, here we go. Survivor has officially announced that season 50, which is still taking place in Fiji per the last contract they signed, will be a returnee season, and I think this means it is safe to say seasons 47, 48, and 49 will be 18 players with 3 tribes. What variety? My unpopular opinion is that Survivor 50, which we don't know the exact theme of yet, should contain no player who was on seasons 34 or before. Only players from seasons 35 and onwards should be cast for Survivor 50. Outside of winners, no one else from 35 and onwards has had a chance to return outside of season 38 when they brought back 4 players from seasons 34 and before. There are a few studs from pre-season 40 who would get a chance finally, and they should not be ignored in favor of an all new / budget era cast, which is what I think and what I'm concerned will happen. However, if Survivor were to do something crazy with season 50, like all runner-ups, meaning players who finished in 2nd or 3rd place on their respective season, I think an exception could be made. But otherwise, snub all those pre-34 players. They had multiple chances and I don't want to see them again on the show. All right, let's go through some of your opinions as well. Dylan says season 46 has to be in the top 5 for worst cast, hence the thumbnail of this video. Up there with Redemption Island and Thailand. Q is a Philip, Venus is Sugar, but if she fully embraced being villainous, 3 people with immunity idols were sent home because they were strategically stupid, and this season is basically turning into a protect the goats for final tribal council game. Other than Kenzie, there's no one left that deserves to win. Ben is just there doing nothing, Charlie is a puppet to Maria, Q is just disgusting, and my goodness, do I wish Jeff would just kick him out at tribal. Venus and Liz are competing for who is the most self-entitled, and Maria is basically trying to pull a D, but with a mom angle. Sigma says the cast is racially diverse but not ideologically, which makes the show bland. I believe, and I'm trying to speak for Sigma here, I believe Sigma is referring to seasons 41 through 46 specifically, not just the most recent cast, because yeah, I agree. The cast, while it may look diverse, is not as diverse as a person as you would hope. Ethan says the challenges are the most boring part of the show. That's pretty funny, Ethan, because I feel like that's the only reason some of the casual audience watches the show. Mick Drewby says 26 days is actually fine, and I think Mick Drewby might be a Survivor producer in disguise. Frame says, I'm not entirely behind calling 46 the second coming of Gabon. I mean, yes, it's unhinged, but Gabon was so silly not even CBS could take it seriously. CBS is trying to take Survivor 46 seriously. Number 2. This next unpopular opinion will be disagreed upon by many, and that's kind of the point. But truly, I believe it is only because of her recent actions outside of Survivor that have now made this true. Cirie Fields cannot win Survivor. No chance. And it isn't because of her fatal flaw of being incapable of winning an individual immunity challenge come the end of the game, though that does contribute largely to her problem in 2 of her 4 losses. The reality is that in the past year and a half, Cirie has competed on Snake in the Grass, which she won, The Traitors, which she won, and Big Brother 25, where she lasted 93 of 100 days, the equivalent of 3.5 modern Survivor seasons. It's a lot of recent success that has eyes on Cirie in a way that I think she would not have had she just not been on anything since Game Changers. And I don't blame her for being on these shows, why would you? It's been 7 years since Game Changers as of the time of this video. If Cirie is brought back to play Survivor, people aren't gonna sleep on her again, and I believe we will simply get a repeat of what happened to her on Heroes versus Villains when her Micronesia game was still very fresh on everyone's brains. I don't think Cirie can win Survivor. All right, some more of your all's opinions. Logan here says, Sammy being only 19 is one of the greatest blindsides in Survivor history. Logan, I didn't know this. How dare you blindside me? Little Daffodil Girl says, Russell is a good person, and I can only assume that this unpopular opinion has to be about Russell Hantz. Be weird if it was any other Russell who had been on Survivor. The Real Coco Mon says, I prefer 44 and 46 way over 45, which I think is a hot take. Omega Show says Boston Rob deserved his win and the season wasn't handed to him. He was just great at creating relationships with his tribe and y'all overlooked his strategy a lot. And before some of you say, but he only won because it's his 4th season, let me remind you that Suri lost 4 seasons, yet she is still a legend. The Mind Commander says, I don't like Boston Rob, which I just thought was funny because of the last opinion. By the way, thank you for watching this channel and supporting it by liking and subscribing. If you want to help pick what videos I make and watch them all weeks and even months early, then consider financially supporting us on Patreon. Patreon now has a free tier so everyone can join. Thank you for your support. Number 3, I will admit when going into a Survivor episode or season blind, all I am really prepared for is good gameplay, possibly, and hopefully some fun moments. Chaos is not usually at the front of my brain, but here's the deal. While I may not fully enjoy the chaos of an episode the first time around, chaos makes a season infinitely more rewatchable, and I think that's why most fans will rewatch Gabon over a newer season just because of the pure chaos. I admit, this is me as well. While I think it would be fun to rewatch Survivor 43 and see the insane moves Jesse pulled off, I can't deny that I might actually want to rewatch Survivor 46 instead, due to one thing: chaos. I love chaos when rewatching seasons, and I don't think most casual audience members enjoy it as well. In fact, I see them complain a lot, and I mean a lot, on Facebook and Instagram, heck, even on Reddit, when people cause chaos that they don't agree with. Q trying to get voted off. Chaos. Yet, I see the complaining. Liz blew up on Q for not giving her Applebee's. Pure chaos. Yet, I still see so much complaining from most fans, and yet, these are iconic moments. So while there will be comments here agreeing with me, I have to say, we are the vocal minority. Most people don't want chaos on Survivor, but that is all I want. All I want is unfiltered chaos. All right, here's some more of y'all's opinions. David says the 42 cast is forgettable, though if you all know this, Soda literally stated that she wanted to play Survivor 46 like Survivor 42. And I don't quite understand that still. McCondog says, Season 11 Guatemala is a top 10 Survivor season ever. So underrated. I'm about to butcher this, I think, but Sai Sakurazaka, Jam Jam is a mid to low tier winner. People loved him, but his vote for me, You're Gone pitch had no basis in reality because none of those moves were his. Carson was the Tika 3 strategist. He got extremely lucky on the Matt vote because they saw Matt as a bigger threat, and his winning move was his winning smile, which is still a winning move. I wouldn't say he doesn't deserve the win, but it's just not a very impressive one. Number 4, is this next opinion unpopular? Considering I almost never see the idea brought up, but like most videos I make, you better believe the opinion stated here will be soon parroted over on Survivor Reddit in the next few days, as if that person is the first one to think of the idea and that no one just recently talked about it. My idea is that Survivor should do a crossover season like the Amazing Race 31, which featured Survivor players, Big Brother players, and the Amazing Race players, of course. But in all fairness, it should probably not have any returning Survivor players and just replace them with players from the challenge. Talk about a dream quote unquote newbie season. That would be a win-win across the board, and yet, the moment they announce this, I can only assume the people who would complain that their spot was stolen by somebody who already got a chance on another show will pop up, it always does, and Survivor fans will complain that there are no past Survivor players on this show. But I think the end result would be amazing. I think it would be a great season and will feature players that most of us have never seen on anything. The Traders has shown a lot of success in this area with this idea, and I think Survivor would be the perfect fit to give it a shot. Here are some more unpopular opinions from you all. Daisy Cup says, my unpopular opinion is that Q from Survivor 46 is going to be the winner. People who think otherwise are making big mistakes. Keep in mind this comment was made around May 6th, so I don't know if this has aged well as of the time of making this video, but if Q wins, all the funnier. Hardy Har says, Micronesia is a mid-tier season. The 3 quits and 2 medevacs kill all of its momentum. It has one great stretch of episodes in the mid-merge, and the rest is a slog. AJL says, well, actually AJL posted like 10, but I picked 1. AJL, I did read them all. I actually liked a lot of what you had to say. But anyways, they say, here we go. The dumbest move in the history of the game is Natalie Anderson choosing not to make fire against Tony in Winners at War. Usually, people bring up Wu, but here's the thing. Wu thought he was gonna stomp either Cass or Tony. It was a total misread of the situation, caused partially by Cass feeding him the narrative of Tony being a goat. Natalie does not have that excuse. Everyone on the edge of extinction mapped out what they needed to do to win the game. The jury gave her the answer sheet, and she still failed the test They all practice fire for that situation. Yeah, and to add on to that, AJL, she just saw season 38 because it did finish airing before they filmed Winners at War, so she should have saw what Chris did. She should have known. The real Klaus Schwab says, train wrecks like Banu, Q, and Liz make the show significantly more entertaining. Number 5. Have I stated this unpopular opinion before? Well, like your dad telling you the same joke for the 50th time, unless of course he went out for milk one day and never came home, I will repeat myself. Survivor Vanuatu Season 9 is an S-tier season. No spoilers, the first 4 episodes are slow, and then after that, it takes off like a rocket. Seriously, the first 4 episodes, it kind of just sits there and you want to kick the show and go, yeah, can you do something? But then in episode 5, it starts to take off, and by the end, it's speeding towards the moon in a way that has you a bit worried it might make impact with it and ruin life as we know it. But thankfully, it narrowly dodges it, and you smile at how amazing this spectacle is. Yeah, watch Survivor Vanuatu and just be a little bit patient. It starts faster than Survivor 46 at least, that's for sure. All right, for the last few unpopular opinions, Jungle Side says, Final Four firemaking is better than the vote. Well, Real Team Wall says, I think if possible, they should go back and re-edit every past season to have 90 minutes and a more balanced edit. This would do wonders for seasons with bad edits like Samoa or 41. It would also allow for more time to breathe out on seasons with twists that take up a lot of time, like Redemption Island and Edge of Extinction, and I think it would give us never before seen content from past seasons. I don't know if it would be possible for them to do this. They might not have the footage anymore, but if they do, they should definitely do it. I think it would bring back a lot of old fans and would turn some of the older seasons into a better experience for modern viewers. They can make the old footage look better and no one should be purpled except for Dan Spilo. Now, Real Team Wall, I agree with you. I mean, that would be a dream. I think the most realistic season they would go back and re-edit is Winners at War, because I think that one would have some marketing potential, but other than that, I just can't see why Survivor would take the time to do that. The last opinion comes from Josh Coleman, who says, Survivor fans argue too much. At the end of the day, we all love Survivor. Josh, how dare you call out this entire video? Thanks, buddy, thanks. So what do you think? What unpopular opinions do you have about Survivor? Comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. I'll see you all next time.